But that is not my fault. That is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera. Wah! Wah! Give me a balloon. What? They put a... How do you cry in Bohemian? Va! Va! That is one very... That is one very Bohemian sounding cry. Wah! Wah! Sound like Waluigi. Wah! Wah! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Story-Driven Gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're hopping back into the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. Last episode, we started the first trial of Case 3. We're trying to figure out if Harebrain's invention worked, and if he was actually the one who killed Odie Asman, which I'm guessing he's not. But he seems to think his invention was a success, that it worked, which, briefly to summarize, you know, at the exhibition, he was trying to show that he can teleport somebody from the stage that, you know, he was presenting on to the, I was about to say the Millennium Tower, whatever it's called, the tower on the opposite end. And according to him, there was a little malfunction, and it worked, but he didn't appear exactly where he was supposed to. Odie Asman, that is, so... But anyway, that's a key point to the investigation. So trying to see if it even worked to begin with. But I'm guessing it didn't, because we've already found some pieces of evidence that kind of show that might not have worked exactly as he intended. I told you my theory was that there were two separate events going on. Like, he did the teleportation thing, and then somebody else dropped the real body down, and I said that maybe there was some kind of switcheroo and there was a wax figure. Just because I have no idea when that's going to come into play, so I just keep guessing that that's what it was used for, as a replacement for Odie Asman's real body or something like that. But I'm not really too confident in that one. Oh yeah, and Harebrain is not making this easy for us. He called out one of our contradictions, which was in his favor, because, you know, he wants to, you know, maintain the reputation of his machine and his hypothesis. We said that the knife, or whatever was used, the screwdriver that was used to stab Odie Asman, clearly wasn't, you know, put inside. He wasn't stabbed within it wasn't kept inside the body, because if it was, it would have teleported with the body. But Harebrain was like, no, metal objects can't teleport. But we proved that wrong anyway. Anyway, it's hard to explain all this, but that's the gist of it. And now, Van Zykes has called a couple of key witnesses who I'm not sure who they are exactly, so we're about to find out. That's all I got, so let's hop back into the case. 23rd of October, 10:44 AM, the Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. You, the brain of my existence. Mr. Naruhodo! Yes? What on earth were you playing at just now? Or rather, what on earth were you playing at all along? How could you trying to help me? How dare you? My hypothesis, my amazing hypothesis! You've been picking holes in it from the start. Consider it a favor. That's what the scientific community is there for. You're supposed to test these hypotheses. If they don't work, come up with a new one. Sorry about that. But you promised me! Did I? You said you proved that dreaded explosion was an accident, not murder. Yes, that's what we're doing. You said you'd keep my precious invention from falling into anyone else's hands. But all you've done so far is try to undermine me. Can I shoot him? Yes, I did make you a promise, you're right. I said that I'd believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypothesis. The fact is, there's an undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there? But if I just run through some equations... Yes, you see? It's because my work is incomplete. Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Yeah, priorities, buddy. Oh. Oh, no! Are you just realizing this? You're right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster. Not just as a scientist, but as a human being. Well, that might be a little over the top, but accurate. And while we're on the subject, what about Beric? He's being awful. That's his job. But you're right, he is. Claiming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean? Oh, sorry, that's me. Claiming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean? He's a disaster. Not just a prosecutor, but as a human being. Oh, but no, wait. He's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapiens anymore. Glad that's cleared up. Can I double check something with you? Yes? What? Spit it out. The machine and demonstration you prepared, they were based entirely on your hypothesis, I presume? There was no trickery involved? How dare you? I drew the plan for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet, but please, Mr. Naruhodo, you must believe in it. Alright, Professor, I understand. You're a scientist, not a magician. Counsel, defend it! It is I, the bailiff. The prosecution witnesses are ready to take the stand. Court is about to begin its session again. Make your way into the courtroom, please. Okay, it is time. Find out who those witnesses are. It all hinges on that demonstration. If the professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims, it leaves him as the only person who could possibly have killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Sholmes was adamant that it didn't work. Right? That's what his words. A practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition is quite impossible. Aha! So really, what should I be trying to prove here? Seek the truth, Naruhodo. That's all you gotta do. It'll come to light one way or another. I hope. 23rd of October, 11 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. We got a whole bunch of new jurors this time around. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready for the new witness to identify? Sorry, the new witnesses to testify? The prosecution is ready, my lord. As is the defense, my lord. So, Lord Van Zykes, I believe the exact witnesses saw the demonstration on the day in question with their very own eyes. Indeed, they did. And as luck would have it, one of them is a police detective. So the testimony we're about to hear can be considered highly reliable. Perfect. A detective of all people. The prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Though it ended in tragedy, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed the act of murder is the only other individual to have been present on the stage at the time, the accused. Thank you, counsel. The prosecution's position is clear. So, bring forth your witnesses now. Okay, let's see them. Bailiff, show the witnesses in. The witnesses whose proximity to the incident on the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally. Hello there? Oh gosh. Gina, hey! You're the only one I care about. Witnesses, state your name and occupation for the court to hear. My name is Balthazar Loon. I am the impresario of all the hot air balloons in vicinity of the experimenter stage. My name is Wilhelm Gostrich Sigimund Ormstein. But you can call me Will for short, I hope. Please, or Wilhelm, I can handle. I've come to see the Great Exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. Hey! Would you like a coin? It's made of chocolate. Oh, thank you kindly. I'm very rich. Inspector Gina Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective, even Airlock Sholmes agrees. I was on security duty at the exhibition, and I got up in one of them balloons. It was amazing. Okay, so she's Gina again. So she's testifying as well. She did say she was there, but she did mention that she'd seen the disaster from up in a balloon, actually, didn't she? And she clearly loved every minute of it. Look at that smile. How can you not love her? There were 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation stage when the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in such a balloon at the time and saw events unfold from the skies above. You make it sound like they were in the clouds. What would I give him? I already forgot the voice. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet. Very low. Whoa, you can't see nothing if you fly too high, can ya? I've never been to Kenya. 60 feet, about 18 meters then. Thank you for introductions. Now, you will give your formal testimony for the court. Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage above the stage. Let's see against the deets. I've been so focused on the how, I haven't really been focusing on the who. Oh, I love the Who. They're my favorite band. Shut up, Gina. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Gina. The view from 60 feet up. It was an incident terrible. Is she supposed to be French too? It was an incident terrible. I am only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. There's a huge bang from the stage, and then the next second, another bang in the sky beside us. Oh boy. In from amidst the smoke, a cage appeared out of nowhere. The cage fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it when it crashed into the tower. Thank God, Gina, you don't have a French accent. You can do one if you like. No, that's okay. A most extraordinary collective account, I must say. Actually, where's Bohemia? That's not French. The other guy's French. Madame Trustbell is French. At least seemingly, based on the accent they seem to have. Well, you know, the words they're using, but I don't know. Bohemia, I don't know what that is. Can I just clarify something? There's a detail in the witness's testimony that I've not heard any mention of until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions? Yeah, that caught me as well. More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places, yes? What, one in the tower and one at the machine? When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. Could it have been dropped from a balloon? I just kind of connected that. I forgot about the balloons. What if there was a balloon flying up and somebody, I don't know if it's that balloon. It could have been maybe that balloon. Maybe somebody dropped from a hot air balloon, dropped the body through the tower. Okay, it seemed more plausible when I think about it like that. There were balloons in the air nearby at the time, carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as power was supplied to the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. Okay, so that's the machine itself. The so-called birdcage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage, and a moment later, the second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witnesses. The birdcage appeared at the side of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down to the crystal tower. Interesting. A second explosion, did a balloon go down? Like, did a balloon explode? I was very surprised. Suddenly a cage appeared before my eyes with a person inside. The blast was so hot, but I didn't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide. Another balloon, please. Ah, much obliged. What accent is this? What accent is this? I still have lots of money. That's nice, good for you. Precisely who is this curious infant? That was a good line. I don't know how old is he supposed to be. He's clearly a kid. I'm told he's a young noble of Bohemian royalty. What is he doing here? I mean, I guess this is a big event. Apparently, disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the great exhibition. Yeah, I am here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school. Hey! I'm having fun with him. We will have a benefit of a child's point of view in the testimony. Oh, that's exactly what we need. Yeah, exactly. Do we really need that? They're so reliable. Oh. Nice to see your face. When I remove my mask, this is what I look like. Hello. Oh, yes, I see. A delightful face, I'm sure. Yeah, everybody says so. Great disguise, then. The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the facts for the court. Namely, that despite ending in an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. And furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the Crystal Tower where the victim fell. Bam! Therefore, only the accused, who was with Mr. Asman on the stage, could possibly have committed the murder. Yes, thank you, counsel. The prosecution's views on the matter are quite clear. So, the defense's cross-examination now, please? Yes, my lord. Right away. Here we go. The view from 60 feet up. Okay. Here, bang. Okay, that's important. Let's press that. Hold it right there, Gina. So you actually saw the accident happen from up in the air? Yup. Isn't it amazing what a detective gets to do, eh? I'm telling ya, Odo being a lawyer's a mug's game. You should join the force and we can get on flying together. You know me so well. If there's one thing he loves, it's heights. Yes, well anyway, could you tell us exactly what you saw, do you think? Everything. We saw everything. Because we were up above it all. That dodgy cove climbing into the cage and that dodgy professor pulling all them levers. And that's when it happened. That's when there was this massive bang and the cage disappeared. Just like that. You are describing the moment the subject's body was decomposed by the electricity, I believe. I didn't know what to make of it. But then there was this another bang, right in the air. I looked round, and there was a huge great fireball right next to us in the sky. And there was nothing here before. What do you have to say, baby? Do you need your bottle?
Excuse me.
Pardon me? Was he like sucking his thumb or biting his nails or something? Master Gotts, does your memory of the day differ? My teacher at elementary school says that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use their full name. I'm not doing that. Yes, what was it again? Here we go. Wilhelm Gottreich Sigismund Ormstein. Get it through your thick skull. Hey. Just the 4 names then? Is that all? The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina Lestrade's last remark, perhaps? Oi, get it right, Odo! It's Inspector Lestrade! Inspector! Oh my gosh. Why does everyone have a problem with how I address them at the moment? Not important, people. Focus. That is not what I saw. Oh? Yeah, there was a second explosion and it was right beside a balloon, that is true. But I'm sure. Which is what I said, isn't it? One moment there was nothing there, the next a massive explosion. My teacher at elementary school said that when someone else is speaking, you shut your face. If you are rude enough to interrupt, you will have the most awful life imaginable. I can't speak. Okay, calm down, buddy. Were all Bohemians brought up to be so full of joy? And did they all sound like that? I'm sure none of them sound like that. Another balloon, please. I hope you enjoy the chocolate, eh? Just before the second explosion happened next to a balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying in the sky. Like a hot air balloon? What do you mean, like a small balloon? A green balloon? Hey, you what? I never saw nothing like that. Well, I did. I saw it, and you can't say I didn't. I will complain to the council. I will cry and scream. Where? My testimony is the truth. I am Bohemian Prince. You cannot say it's a lie. That is not allowed. Where's this kid's mother? Playing the bleeding royalty card, are ya? Typical. Says the orphan who likes to remind people she works for Her Majesty's Police. In that case, young man, I must ask you to amend your formal testimony. In the interest of cordial national relations between Great Britain and Bohemia. Okay, let's see if this is important. Or if I can... I'm sure it is important, but... Okay, it was not the skies that exploded, it was a green balloon. Oh, maybe... this? Is it too soon? Let me try pressing him on this first, and then I think that's probably what we need. Because we have green rubber. A green balloon, you say? Are you sure about that? Of course I am sure. I am a proud Bohemian prince. Oh, these questions are making me boring. Was that? Oh no, I thought somebody... Never mind. Okay, continue. I think you mean bored. Ah! English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior. Ragazzo, it is very long to lie. Very wrong to lie. Lie? Who are you calling a liar? Flying balloons never explode. For it's the same reason the planets never explode. It is logical. Please tell me that doesn't mean logical. Because nothing about that was logical. If you insult me, you insult all of Bohemia. My die! Are you threatening me? I will have the army come and shoot all of your stupid balloons out of the sky. All of them! I mean it! Okay, things are getting intense in here. On that note, can I please have another balloon? You are, your highness! If only all international incidents were so easily resolved. Now that peaceful relations have been restored here in the courtroom, perhaps we could return to the testimony. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Loon? No, I did not see the explosion myself, however. Okay, so it's gotta be that. It's gotta be the green rubber. Right? They said it's made out of rubber, right? What's this canvas-like material? Yeah, backed with rubber. I'm gonna go for it. It's green. I don't think I have to examine anything about it any more thoroughly. I already did. Let's go for it.
Objection.
No! The defense has to object to that last statement, my lord. And I would have to overrule your objection, counsel. The defense would have to accept the penalty given. Glad to hear it. And you would also have to think again. Okay, I still think it's gotta have something to do with this. Green balloon and we have a green rubber thing, but maybe it's too premature. Maybe I'm too premature there. Okay, I pressed her on that. Okay, let's just press him on this. Did you see that actually happen? No. In reality, I did not. I saw after it hit the tower. There was a grand confusion around the stage. I ran to see what happened. Oh, this guy's Italian, isn't he? I don't know why it's kind of hitting me. I can't do Italian accent. I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. I suppose they are his livelihood. But when I looked up to the sky, all my precious balloons were still there. I saw it though. I saw it slam to the tower. After all, I am a detective now. Did you see my badge? Only 50 times. And tell us what you saw, Inspector Lestrade. Although I can't say I'm much better. I present my badge to everyone who will listen. That's why I like the air. Okay. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it after crashing to the tower. Okay, definitely press her on that. Was it you who gave the order to keep people away? Eh? Use your head, Odo. How could I have been me? It had been me. I was in the balloon, weren't I? True. Right. So, because I weren't available, it was the boss who had to leg it over there. Gregson. He was getting shoved and kicked all over the by the panicking spectators as he tried to see off the scene. It was a real sight to behold, I can tell ya. Amazing. Poor Inspector Gregson. So anyway, I couldn't see the kid that well because it was all the smoke. And I didn't really want to see, to be honest. I was scared out of my wits. Keep it together, Inspector. Okay. The prosecution really is asserting that the demonstration was genuine. But what if it was actually some kind of switch-around trick instead? That would mean that the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. That's what I was saying! Maybe I'm onto something. The two explosions would have thrown everyone watching into a panic for sure. I think I need to find out more about what exactly people saw at the time. Okay, let's... I skipped this one, so let's press them on this. Hold it, sir. There were 3 balloons flying above the experimentation stage at the time, I understand. Si. All 3 of them are bellissimi bambini. They were very popular, senor. Some people will pay £10 for one ride. £10? That's more than my annual stipend. £20 a month. That is my pocket money. Royals have all the luck. I'm jelly. I got up there for free, I did. Paid the old I work for Emergency Police card, you know? Of course you did. Texas have all the luck. Us lawyers, we don't have that luxury. If they're so popular, why would you only be operating such a small number of balloons, though? Because if I have too many in disguise, I would crash into each other. The operators of the balloons were decided by lots, with each operator manning a particular area. See, and the zone above public experimentation stage is the most profitable. The other impresarios, they hate me. Thank you, witness. I think the court has a clear picture of the arrangements for balloon rides at the exhibition. Perhaps you could hear more about what you actually witnessed of the incident. Right, I can fill you in there, my lord. Okay, now I gotta think. So it has to do with this. It was not the sky that exploded, it was a green balloon that was next to ours at the time. So... okay, we still have this. A very curious device found behind a tree under the experimentation stage. Almost as if it had been hidden there deliberately. I don't know why that helps us yet. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is this. But it said this wasn't right. Right? I mean, it's a green piece of fabric. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. The piece of green cloth is all I got. Let me read the full description of the cloth again. I feel like I read it like 20 times. A torn piece of canvas-like material backed with rubber that was found under the experimentation stage at the exhibition grounds. There were scorch marks at the edges. I doubt it would be this, because he says, I'm grateful that my balloons were not damaged. That can't be right. That doesn't seem like... I mean, it shows that one of your balloons was damaged. I'm gonna try something. So I'm gonna try this one because it says I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. Because the fact that I got this this whatchamacallit, this thing means you'd think I'd have to present something to this point. But I'm wondering if that was maybe just this little bit here is just telling us that there was a green balloon so that we can make the connection that this is from a balloon. And he's saying, so maybe we're saying that you're wrong. One of your balloons was damaged. Here's the proof. Let's try it.
Objection.
Yes, okay. Phew. Mr. Loon, or Lune, I don't know how you say that. In your testimony, you said that all 3 of the balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. Okay. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosiones, it would have been terrible. Terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. Ah, I think it may be. See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope. Envelope. Sorry, the envelope? Pardon. That is the large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want to rip it when you are in the sky. Just as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day. Eh? Pardon? Pardon moi? If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Loon, and your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence. Suck it! They all just popped at once. Hey, my balloons! If a balloon exploded that day, when did the man say so? If everyone on board was killed. Oh no, haven't just spent 10 more pounds for the experience, how awful. Hate to me like those quite the time anyway. So, whatever they're saying. The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of materialization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon, causing the balloon to explode. Yes, eminently plausible. An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pertinent facts. This I cannot accept! Excuse me? Why not, Mr. Loon? You are suggesting that I am a liar! The person died in a balloon incidente. There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Loon. The victim was the sole fatality that day. That's right, and I prove it! Balthazar Loon is not a liar. There was no such balloon in the sky. It is non-possibile. You're saying it's impossible? Why? Yeah, I want to know why. This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day. Shut up, Van Zyke. This is important. Aye!
Objection.
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Loon. Let's do it. He's hiding something. I concur. There's clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibition. Ah, grazie, my lord. Grazie. Okay. Mr. Loon's balloons. It rhymes. As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an esplosione. What a catastrophe! Well, you can't get away from the fact that a burnt up bit of cloth was found at the scene, can ya? The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. This stupid ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. Red and blue zigzag stripes, okay. So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not one belonging to you? Si, exactamente. If even he saw a balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, we will fight back. It will be war. All out war. I will send my... Oh. A balloon, please. You interrupted my train of thought. I was literally in the middle of saying something and I forgot what I was saying. What happened to all-out war? Oh, that's right. That's what he was saying. Mr. Loon certainly doesn't appear to be lying. But that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find fault with the witnesses' statements, the court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend. I got this. I got this. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes. Counsel, you may now cross-examine the witnesses. You got it. You got it, Judge. I think it's just a bandage on his head, but it looks like he's wearing, like, panties or something, or underwear. Mr. Loon's balloons. Okay.
Hold it!
Press him on that. You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe? Senor, I might not notice if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons. Do you believe I could make a mistake about something so grand and expensive? I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons. Okay. It would appear no mistake has been made then. Surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for such a menial task. What, me? I'll tell you what I told the boss. He said kids like me can only count up to 2. That's great. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss bought it and said he'd have to get himself in that case. Never change, Gina, never change.
Hold it!
Hold it. It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps balloons in the sky? Are you an idiota? Maybe. Sorry? That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright. And the balloon flies because it flies. What else? Okay. I'm sure there's some science behind it, but we'll just let it slide, I guess. That must be Italian for I don't know. I don't make them! There are 2 types of flying balloons, hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. Okay. Whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. See, and my balloons are filled with the magic gas, I believe. Hydrogen. Lighter than air, but highly explosive. Good lord. I do not permit smoking of the cigarettes in my balloons. The magic gas does not like fire. Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. That would be bad. What is the matter with you, senor? All that comes out of your mouth is esplosione, esplosione. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day. I am completely sure. But if you still say that is what happened, you must show me the proof. Alright, so Mr. Loon had 3 balloons in the air that day. If none of them were damaged, then what was the one that exploded? What is that? Have we seen that look before? He just turned to the camera. He's like, do you know, Mike? It's like Dora the Explorer up in here. So again, we have this, but it doesn't match the pattern necessarily. We already presented this. Let me just get to his last point, then I'll go to Gina's points. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes. I do want to know more about that anyway. You mean the color is wrong? Si, senor. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. And yet, a piece of green cloth was found at the scene, and it's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that can be. He's sweating. For the sake of argument, let's say that a green balloon did explode above the stage. You could therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question. I guess not. Why not? There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park operating from before the exhibition. One could have exploded on some earlier date. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you'd agree. You believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that precedes the exhibition? I mean, he's not wrong, it's possible. Si, exactamente, as the senor says. It is not from one of my balloons. Clearly, this little ragazzo from Bohemia is mistaken about what he saw. Oh. What do you gotta say, dude?
Excuse me.
Excusez-moi. Slam. Is something wrong, Master Guts? It's Master Wilhelm Gottfried Sigmund Ormstein. I'm getting better at that. It was on the tip of my tongue. Whoopsie doodles. Yeah, something is very wrong. I know what I saw. There was a green balloon there. I swear all of Bohemia. You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing. Just give me the balloon. If you do not have evidence, ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? They are dead. Oh, shit. First we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments. Evidence? What is this evidence? Do explain. To give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance? Some tangible proof of what you claim. Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have lots of that. I have the photograph here. Ooh. Good gracious. What? I had not been up in the balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. Ta-da! I took lots and lots of photographs. Look! Isn't it so exciting? Of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot air Eosdella, the balloon. And the instantaneous kinesis experiment? Did you take a picture of that? No! Yeah, one picture. Oh, here we go. Really? You did take one? But all I wanted was a ride in a balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments. Never mind that. Can you show us that photograph? Now. Of course. And then you will see. I am awesome. You will see that I am not lying. That I really did see a green balloon. There it is. I mean, it's in black and white, though. But it definitely doesn't have stripes. Well, I see you all too shocked to speak. I think that's probably what they're shocked about. It's black and white. Yes, I think the shocked is indeed the word, young man. Give me a balloon for my superior service. Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from this photograph, but that is not my fault. That is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera. Wah, wah. Give me a balloon. What? They put how do you cry in Bohemian? Va, va. That is one very that is one very Bohemian sounding cry. Wah, wah. Sound like Waluigi. Wah, wah. Oh gosh, what is wrong with me? Very well. Oh, my voice. The court will accept this photograph as evidence. Okay. A photograph taken by Gotts whilst he was riding in a balloon. It shows another balloon that he claims was green and exploded a moment after he took the shot. Okay, well, what it does prove, though, is that it's not striped. It doesn't have the stripes that, Mr. Loon was talking about. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera. Again. Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph, youngster? Well, it was on the day of the big explosion. I'm trying to make him sound sad. You don't say. We need a little bit more than that. When I pressed the shutter release, there was this very loud bang. And a hot wind rushed over my face. Sniffle, sniffle. That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I could not give the flying fig. Like I wasn't sure if he was trying to curse there or not. I don't give a flying fig. These guys are fun. I like these witnesses a lot. Lovely language you picked up. As I thought, Mr. Loon's testimony just doesn't quite add up. The young Bohemian boy claims to have seen another, fourth balloon. Mr. Loon vehemently denies the possibility. And it's hard to imagine the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something, I'm sure. Okay. All three of my balloons were carrying passengers. Yeah, I might have to press Gina on her points, because I'm still not sure. Let's take a closer look at the picture, I guess. Okay, you can see that there were no passengers in it. So that's something. He said all of his balloons had passengers in it. You can see the crowd. There's the machine. There's Asman in it. There were these bags on the side. Huh, I don't know. Nothing stands out. Let's just press Gina
Hold it!
on these. I was surprised to find the piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? They weren't allowed to touch anything, right? Now, I'm not into picking stuff up off the ground, May. Always works out way better. Diving into people's pockets instead. Oh, Gina. So much for the new career path. I'm still a thief at heart. Mind you, the boss was in his hands and knew he was picking up cards of rubbish from the floor. Thing is, though, the cage went crashing into the Crystal Tower, didn't it? So that's where most of the investigating was going on. Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered it up as evidence. Core, listen to you. You stumbled across a bit of balloon and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world. I didn't say that, but it's true. Pardon? Whoa, you ain't got a badge, have you? Like this one! I could arrest you with this if I wanted to. Excuse you? What do you call this? I have an armband. That's better than a badge. So suck it. I wouldn't put it past her. Come to think of it, there was talk of some scorching on the grounds at a meeting we had about the investigation. The cops at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage.
Hold it!
Let's hear more about that. There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there? Yeah, some of the codes what were watching the experiment were caught up in the blast and injured. Good job the old contraption didn't keel over, eh? I hadn't even considered that. That would have been that would have been bad. It seemed there was great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of the evidence from a balloon. Inspector Gregson can expect repercussions. Like me swiping all the fish and chips, eh? The man's sole pleasure. Nobody better touch my fish and chips. None of this matters. That scrap of balloon envelope means nothing. Niente. Okay, so I guess that's it then. Because obviously that's wrong. Because we have the evidence here that, well, again, we don't know that it's a green balloon. We don't know that it's green though. So will this be good evidence? That he claims was green. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it.
Objection!
And no. Surely something about that last statement seems odd, doesn't it? Would you care to mull over precisely what you find odd about it on your return journey to Japan? Oh gosh. I wouldn't be back to give the court an answer for about 4 months though. Rest assured, we should be happy to carry proceedings forward in your absence, counsel. He sounds serious. I have to prove my worth before he really does send me back home. So I'm not sure if we need to use this for something. A photograph taken by Gotts while he was riding in a balloon. It shows another balloon that he claims was green and exploded a moment after he took the shot. Let me check one more time. None of the other balloons are present in the picture, right? Yeah, just this balloon. But again, we can't necessarily use this as evidence against what's-his-face. Against Loon's points, right? Because he's claiming that this isn't his balloon. I mean, like I said, the picture proves that, that the balloon that he saw doesn't have, the stripes at the very least. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Like, I just noticed this hat is a hot air balloon. I just noticed that. Anyway, back to my theory. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm thinking is that the green balloon might just be a fourth balloon, totally separate from his. Okay, let's try presenting the picture here, because even though you can't see that it's green, you can see that it doesn't have stripes anywhere on it. Right?
Objection!
Oh, dang it! It wouldn't be a proper Let's Play if I didn't screw up like this. I'm just, I still don't know what this mysterious contraption has anything to do with. We weren't able to even examine it. I don't think this has anything to do with anything yet, at least not yet. Okay, I'm gonna try this one next, just because we can also see that there are no passengers in the balloon.
Objection!
There we go. Slam. Okay, I don't think Okay, I don't think I was far off with my other point, though, because I pointed... If he's going in the direction I think he's going with, that there were no passengers in it, you could also see that there were no stripes on the balloon, right? Like, even though you can't see the color of the balloon, you can see that there aren't any stripes on it, so whatever. But maybe he's about to say something completely different than what I'm thinking. Unfortunately, the photograph Master Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon, but it can tell us something else. Something crucially important. What? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers. Yep. Oh my goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise. See, they are for pleasure, for seeing the view. My balloons only fly with passengers. Do they now? Or are you lying to me? It tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing, niente. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine. Oh, his hat matches the balloon that the prince is holding. There were illegal tradesmen everywhere, you care to look. Clearly, one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing. Could be. See, the competizione trying to steal my profits. I did not notice because of the esperimento that went wrong on the stage. This fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment Mr. Asman was beamed from the stage below. Right. So them scraps that fell to the floor after and left them scorch marks, they didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon raining down. Because no one was in it, it didn't get no attention. Okay. A mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection!
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Clearly, it doesn't do with the case. Its relevance does elude me, I must say. The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Not yet, sir. See, they're not even paying attention. Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No. I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up, and not in our favor. What else can this photograph tell us? Is there nothing more we can learn from it? Nah. I'm sure there is something. Again, there's the stripes. We talked about the stripes. I don't know if that's where they're going with it. Probably not. I see bags hanging from the balloon. I'll just say there's more, because I'm sure there is more.
Objection!
Objection! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait. Please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Master Gotts may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that? Shocked face. What did I give him? A vital clue?
Objection!
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. Sit down. It's time for definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove? The balloon's color? No. The balloon's owner? The cause of the explosion? The balloon's owner. Definitely not the color. Because the photograph itself doesn't... It didn't belong to Asman, did it? Oh, wait a minute. Is that... Let me think. There's a little beam there that I thought was just a glare. But is that... Does that mean someone from the crowd shot up at the balloon? Was Well, no, you can't see him in it, though. I don't know. Maybe... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. The cause of the explosion. I hope I'm right. We can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was not my fault. Never said it was, kid. Evidently. Because the birdcage from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon, being filled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited.
Objection.
No, that's not what happened. What? It would appear that this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph for the court. Of course, my lord. Okay, I hope I'm onto something. If you look closely, it's plain enough to see. And what's shown is linked to another piece of evidence we have. In a way that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that heavily suggests the real reason the balloon exploded is... Now I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm not sure the way he worded that. If I look closely... What I'm looking for now is I'm looking to see if I see this thing in the photograph. I did say it might be a crossbow. Maybe that's what they're getting at? Like maybe I feel like going with this. Because somebody clearly shot something. It looks like anyway. I'm gonna try it. See if I'm...
Take that!
Oh, I think I got it. The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. Yeah, I'd say. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon. Most likely a ray of light caught incidentally on the film. I might have been right about that being a crossbow or something. I'm afraid I can see nothing of the sort. If you look with a magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright line really is. A bullet or something. Goodness, what is that? Undeniably some flash of light, yes? Oh golly, do you think it might be lightning? Yeah, sure, lightning that shoots up. But it couldn't have been a finer day. I believe we may be looking at fire. About the fire, and straight for the balloon. Like an arrow. Indeed, even to my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort. My word, are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon?
Objection!
Could be. That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly have reached such a height.
Objection!
I think it's that device we found. Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how that is exactly what did happen. What evidence? If such evidence exists, counsel, then for goodness sake, present it, man! This evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appears to be headed directly for the balloon. I'm gonna go with this. This mysterious contraption.
Take that!
I hope I'm right. The true nature of the curious, slim streak of light is revealed by this. A curious answer, with a slim chance of being the correct one, I feel. Are you kidding me? It looks somewhat like a piece of firework, but whereas fireworks dazzle the audience, you fizzle out in a remarkably disappointing way. I was sure I was onto something. Ugh, insults dressed up in colorful metaphors are still insults. But anyway, this fireworks display isn't over yet. Okay. I'm not sure what they're getting at. Yeah, it's not the picture itself. There's nothing in the picture, I don't think. I'm not sure I'm following. I really thought it was this. Like, I really thought it was just this, unless there's something I gotta examine that I'm missing? That'd be funny if that's all it is. Oh, wait! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I bet it is this. Ah, there's some sort of lever here. Oh, I feel... Oh, gosh, there we go. What the? What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing, too. There we go. Turns out it's a folding crossbow. Ah, darn it. Okay. Wait, that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do. I want to see if there's any more dialogue if I... This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. So I was right, it's a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with the bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have been Kazuma in Kyoto archery training. Okay, wow, so that's... I just completely missed that. Okay, well, that's clearly it. I just didn't have the right information. This was found hidden at the foot of a small, ornamental tree near the scene. Good lord, is that a crossbow? An arrow dipped in oil and set alight could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon. Are you suggesting that crossbow was used deliberately? Yes, sir. I did think it was weird that we had this mysterious device and we couldn't examine any part of it, so I should have been a little more thorough, I guess. But I feel like I was all over that thing, so whatever. Blimey, you're right. That streak of light in the photos just looks like an arrow, doesn't it? Then, the explosion of the balloon, it was... You got it. Very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside it. Ah! We are onto it now. Order! Council, this is an extraordinary supposition. If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. The noise of the discharge, of course. Yes, that's right. By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently. Ah, very clever. Well, yeah, if someone had shot a gun off in the exhibition ground, it would have caused real panic. You couldn't have that happen. But with the big explosion, there was a big panic anyway, no? True. I don't like this. I should be pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all this. But something feels wrong.
Objection.
What do you got? What do you got for me, Zexy? Do you understand the implication of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend? If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued... Well, wait a minute! What are you all really saying here? I'm not sure. I don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up into the sky after all? Or what? My goodness me! Like I said, I think it fell from the balloon. Ah, now I understand. That's what that sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along. Yes. What? What, do I just hear that correctly, Council? You heard me. There's no going back now. The horse has bolted. Oh, inside the balloon itself. Okay, because I was going to say, I'm like, we had a pretty good view of the inside, and it didn't look like there was anything, especially that size in there. Okay. Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment was started, the birdcage and the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. And then fell. He's probably dead at this point anyway, though. Which would make sense. Imagine if he was just alive in the balloon. Hey, let me out! From amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. That's what I was thinking, or something to that effect, that he was dropped from above. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible. That what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day. Sounds plausible to me. Good grief! That's my words exactly, Judge. What did you say? This is ludicrous. What you described is no science experiment. It's child's play. A contemptible display of stage magic. Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said that the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day. And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the Crystal Tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that? If I may put in a word, as a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception. Juror number 3. All that would be needed is a doppelganger, someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Asman, and having this other man appear on stage in front of the show as a body double. Ah, look at my pigeons. Yes, of course. So in fact, Mr. Asman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start.
Objection.
And could this doppelganger be a wax figure by any chance? That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would ever have embarked on such a risky venture. Not necessarily. The explosive force of the balloon gas would very much depend upon the mixture ratio. Juror number 4. Oh, they're all coming in my defense. Flying balloons are rarely filled with the pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered. The mixture ratio? What are you on about? Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns that would be unavoidable, but not to such an extent as to render this whole obscene charade impossible. I hate you all. Go die in a hole. So everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. Trust the science! The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it appear that instantaneous kinesis had occurred. Well, goodness me! And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Asman, was never present on the public's experimentation stage to begin with. Yeah. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant who was on stage in full view the entire time. The question I have then is how did Harebrained not know that it was a doppelganger? I suppose that I could be wrong about the wax figure thing, and it could just be another person got in the machine, disguised as him. Ah! What the hell? You did it, Naruhodo. This will be very hard for the prosecution to counter. Lord Van Zyke can't credibly maintain that Professor Harebrained is the suspect now. Just watch him. This better not be Harebrained, or I swear to gosh. Swear to goodness. Harebrained? Mr. Naruhodo, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Professor? What's he gonna say? But you can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry? What's all this about, Mr. Harebrained? Oh, I don't like this. I, Albert Harebrained, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Odi Asman. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, and with a screwdriver. Why, Mr. Harebrained, why? What are you doing? That's what I want to know. You idiots! Order, order, order! Defendant, explain this sudden confession.
Objection.
No. I demand he shuts the hell up. Professor Harebrained, what are you talking about? It's what I've said all along. I must protect my hypothesis and my precious machine. The guy died, dude. Let it go. You stand there and claim it was all a trick, all an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you'd have to examine the machine if you want to prove it, but then it would be all over. My goodness. This guy cares more about his machine and his experiment than about the truth. And about human life. My beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare. I mean, the indignity of it. clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. Ah, that is true. I didn't read the rest of that. My apologies. If you'll just let me, I can prove. Barrick! Yes. This is enjoyable. I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please, ensure that special dispensation for a scientific experiment act is adhered to and protect my creation. Silence. Ellipses. Lots of ellipses. Take the moment to enjoy another bottle of grape juice. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice at this critical juncture. It hasn't stopped you before. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend. What? And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in the light of the accused's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machine involved in order to establish the truth. We gotta do it, I don't care. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, there goes my chalice. Any chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved. Well, counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter? Professor Harebrained, my client, actually asked of me was to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. But there's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocence, or do I uphold the client's request but see him condemned? This is a hard choice, and I don't know what the right answer is. Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust. Yeah, either way you lose. You've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind? Come on, Naruhodo. Seek the truth. That's what I'm here for. Mr. Naruhodo! There's no escape here. I have to make a choice. But it's an impossible one. I have to give up on something. But what? That the defendant's instantaneous kinesis machine was in fact... I'm gonna do it. I'm going with it's a conjuring trick. Ah! What do I do? No, I can't say it. My client places faith in me. I can't just let him down. What must I give up on? It's not the question you have to ask yourself here. Who is that? It's what can I protect? What the? What the what? Hello again, Mr. Naruhodo. It is I, the best assistant. Jesus. What? How is she back? And she's in... What are you wearing, Susato? It's been far too long. Susato's back. Sue? Susato? Susato-san! But what are you? Hiya! Wah! Oh, I miss those. Ah! My first Susato takedown in 6 months. I wouldn't have it any other way. Friend. There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Naruhodo. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Oh, this is awesome. Which is working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. Professor Harebrained. Ah, yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Asman. I think you've come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now. I am done with that bottle. So, you finally opened your eyes. What? And as for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer. Van Zyx has been in some roundabout way helping us? Aiding us? Ah! Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say? But, Varric! Lord Van Zyx? What is this? Gosh, I've never heard him speak that way before. Talking like they're old friends, because they are. In truth, there is one thing. Something I remember that's of relevance. What? Let's hear it. On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. Okay, that's kind of important. A man holding that crossbow. I beg your pardon? You waited till now to tell us? Professor! You dingus! Did the man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like? Tall. Taller than me, and thin. Thinner than me, with straight hair. Straighter and whiter than mine. Let me see. One less lens than me, too. A monocle. A rather stylish black monocle. Wait a minute. Oh no, he has glasses. I don't know why I thought he had a monocle. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do we know anybody who wears a monocle? I don't think so. But one thing in particular will help to positively identify the man, you see? I know him very well. After all. Oh, it was Asman? Wait, what? Oh, no, sorry. The engineer who built the invention. Asman didn't build it, right? He just gave the money. The engineer who built my invention. Have we met him yet? What? He built the machine? That's right. Mr. Asman introduced him to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. Enoch Drebber? I guess they know him. Does this name mean something? Members of the jury seem flustered. Not a name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. Okay. Not a name any conjurer wishes to hear either. Who on earth is he? I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of this nature that I've heard in scientific circles in connection with that name. There's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turn out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government research grant money. When magicians are in need of money, I have heard them resorting to these underhand tactics. Some acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber's name before. The man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. It's almost like a, whatchamacallit? It's almost like a contradiction in terms. A scientist and a magician. That's Enoch Drebber for you? Get him up here now. Okay, well that kind of tears it. We have a name now. Ooh boy. That got intense. So it's true then. My invention, my great machine, it was just a grand illusion. Yeah, I hate to break it to you. Considering what we've just heard about Mr. Drebber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted. Which is why you were so opposed to it being investigated, I presume? I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, then everything I'd worked towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. Yeah, his whole life's work would be... his dreams would be dashed. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built? And the true nature of Mr. Drebber? I guess not at first. I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. It's entirely possible that Mr. Asman and Mr. Drebber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money. Ooh. Seems likely. Or at least seems like a theory. When I announced my invention to the crowd that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. Yes, you did it with much gusto, as I recall. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. It was probably like just a smoke screen type of thing. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore, apparently. Poor guy. As annoying as he was. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? I'm sure he will now. Yes, please go ahead. Yes. One step closer. I'm very sorry. It would appear that we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord Van Zykes? My lord? The court has newly been made aware of another party who is involved into this matter is critical. Yes, Mr. Drebber. Gather information about the man, if possible. I should like him served with a subpoena. With pleasure, my lord. I'll get right on that. Now, counsel for the defense. Yes, my lord? When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing, and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused. I understand. Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning. It does seem like, Van Zykes in this particular case is really trying to lead us to the right conclusion. Like, I think he does have faith in his friend. Oh, there's more. 23rd of October, 1:36 p.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Mr. Naruhodo! Yes? I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into my mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry. Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Drebber was really up to, I mean? About what he was really constructing? Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis, of all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it. Alright, I believe him. In that case, I won't say any more. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands, so we must do as much investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Music stopped. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. You got it, buddy. Yay! That's right, we got Suzuto. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo. Arriving late? Didn't you receive my postcard? I want to let you know when I'd arrive. I don't think so. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you, Runo, so it'll be a surprise. Ta-da! Oh, is that what she was, Oh, that's right, she had to leave to, do something. And I chewed her out for it, but if she was going to, like, plan the surprise and bring Suzuto over here, then all is forgiven. Well, did it work? I was surprised, alright. I really was. I didn't think she'd show up right in the middle of a trial. Especially when she threw me to the ground. That part shocked me. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I got a little, excited. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out. Maybe we could stick to more traditional displays of emotion in future? Susie's train was late in London Victoria this morning, you see? But we made the coachman really whip the horses hard so she didn't miss the whole trial. I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. I was glad to see you. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Oh? Having you at my side in court gives me the strength I need to win. So, I'm, delighted to see you, back in London. Ryunosuke and Suzuro, the dynamic duo. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I have so many stories to tell of how I became a famous idol back in Japan. I hope I continue to be of service to you. Of course. So, what's brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba now protest? Let's save all that conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? Let's wait till the next chapter. This recording's been going on long enough already. You know, I made one of my most special blends over this special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful! I can't wait. Yes. Yeah, I'm so happy. Suzuro-san was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time. But despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. Is that it? Another extraordinary turn. This case has been wild enough already. So much happening, and we still have a whole nother investigation and trial. Okay, that concludes the first trial, the first part of the trial, in this case. And yeah, it's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And now the game informs me it's gonna get even crazier. Let's start with the obvious. Suzuro's back. So happy. I was hoping we'd see her, especially because I had her in that outfit. I'm like, imagine I put her in that outfit and she's not present like the majority, except for minor flashbacks and stuff. But nope, she's back. So she'll be with us, I'm sure, for the rest of the case, and hopefully the rest of the game they'll be together. So very excited about that. And yeah, just a lot happened. You know, Harebrained trying to get in the way again to protect his invention, but he's finally come around. Now he's all intent on actually helping us now, helping us to help him. So yeah, so I mean, I had bits and pieces right. I got a lot of things wrong, like as I was actually doing like the testimonies and things, but some of them I don't feel like would necessarily like I didn't feel bad about, like the crossbow thing. Obviously, I just missed examining it. I had a feeling it had to do with that. And that one thing about the balloon, I do think that you could conclude that there were no stripes on it from the picture, but either way, wasn't my best performance, but we got through it with one life left, one life to spare. And yeah, I'm excited to check out the next trial and see where it goes. I don't know if we'll meet him during the trial, but we'll eventually have to meet Drebber. Maybe we'll meet him during the investigation. Maybe we'll interview him, or maybe the prosecution will just grab him and take him away right away. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, nothing about the wax figure or Miss Trustbell, the professor yet. So I'm sure all of that will come into play. But otherwise, we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are too. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and hit the like button and the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, share the video and the channel with your friends, family, and loved ones. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And I'll see you next time. So take care and bye-bye.